Hey, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the presidential election of 2016, and even more so, we want to answer the question, who is going to be the next president of the United States? Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. Let's get ready to rumble, I guess, huh? So, I know you want to know. So things have been pretty heated here in the United States due to the recent terror attack in Orlando, which has sparked a huge discussion on terrorism, immigrant policies, and gun ownership. Quick disclaimer, my job is not to shape your opinion. My job is to simply tell you what the astrology says. And really, all I'm doing here is to translate for you what's going on horoscope-wise, all right? So, in order to do this, we're going to look at Donald Trump's as well as Hillary Clinton's birth chart, but even more so the transits and how they relate to each chart. Also, we want to see what's going on with the birth chart of the United States. Yes, the US has a birth chart. So, we will look at what's going on right now. We will look at what's going on November 8th. That's when the voting will take place. And 3, January 20th. That's when the new president, whoever it will be, takes office. Okay? Are you down? You want to know? All right, let's get to it. So first, the birth chart of the United States. Let's see what's going on at this point in time right now. And right there, Saturn is conjuncting the ascendant. What does that mean? Well, we can say for sure that the United States is going through some hard times right now. And in fact, Saturn is retrograding right now, which ultimately means that this will be going on for a little bit, for the next 4 to 5 months approximately. And then starting November, it will start to simmer down a little bit. Now, the Saturn of the United States particularly relates to how the world views the United States. So basically, we're having some sort of crisis surrounding its image, okay? Its leadership role and level of authority, as well as influence. We have Neptune here squaring this Saturn, which means the United States, as you know it, is about to change. Okay, as I said, Neptune indicates some form of deception and delusion. Now, this is huge, particularly in the area of communication and media, since we have Neptune in the 3rd house. So we have to look out for a lot of bias and opinion shaping, as well as false promises. Okay, now, Saturn is opposing Uranus. This indicates a sense of sudden change, surprise, and randomness, i.e. the sudden and out-of-nowhere terror attack. Furthermore, Rahu and Jupiter are conjuncting in the 9th house, trining Pluto. So, we have something going on with religion, and there is a transformation going on in regards to values, okay? Pluto's in the 2nd house. The trine indicates that this is a good thing, okay? It's important to be compassionate right now. However, this Jupiter-Rahu construct is opposing Neptune again, so we have to be really careful with what's true and what isn't. So, second, let's look at Hillary Clinton's horoscope. Now, I've discussed the birth chart in more detail in my previous video, indicating signs of a bad temper and anger, as well as potential corruption and things going on behind the curtain. That would be Scorpio. Besides, we can see that she's incredibly ambitious and persuasive. But let's look more at the transits. Now, and I've mentioned this, we don't have her exact birth time. I'm working with 8:02 a.m. But this, the sources are conflicting, so we will focus more on the planets and signs since we don't really have the houses set up for her. So right now we have Mars conjuncting her Mercury. Donald Trump just gave a speech yesterday supposedly attacking her directly. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to do that tonight. But we will see her firing back heavily, okay? Now, transiting Jupiter is sextiling her Venus, which could indicate that she's winning over potential voters right now. However, the picture is not completely clear since her Venus is in Scorpio and her Saturn square is in the mix as well, so that makes things a little bit more difficult, so I don't want to get too much into this. Anyway, November 8th, the day of voting, okay? The Sun will conjunct her natal Venus, which is good for her. Saturn is trining her strong natal Pluto-Mars conjunction, again stacking up the odds in her favor to become a leader, okay? Because leadership is represented by Leo here. Uranus trining her natal sun underlines this theme, and we could interpret all of this as a sudden gain of power and her taking on a leadership role. Now, on January 20th, what really stood out to me was Rahu, the transiting Rahu, or the North Node, if you will, being right on her MC, okay, which often indicates a new phase in a life, okay? So this really is, it's right there, okay? So this would directly correspond to becoming / being the president and taking office. Saturn squaring her moon indicates high responsibility, and moon represents home and home country, so responsibility towards her home country. All right? Third, Donald Trump. He just had a solar return, which basically means his birthday was just recently, indicating the beginning of a new cycle for him, new vitality and increased energy, indicating that he will have the ability to express himself in more powerful ways. And I just mentioned his speech, which supposedly was a good one. But this energy is just a temporary burst of energy letting off as we speak, okay? All right, November 8th. Mercury is conjuncting his 4th house, positively aspecting his Saturn, which can be good for him in regards to the voting. While Neptune trines his natal Mercury in the 11th house, indicating that he's more in tune with the opinion of the American people, and during this time particularly, regardless of the outcome, by the way. January 20th. Now, Chiron squares his this natal construct, potentially indicating some form of wounding. Okay, but I'm personally not too big on Chiron, and only time will tell what effect Chiron really has. But I at least wanted to kind of put it out there and make you aware of it. Now, during all of this time, Trump has Saturn transiting his 4th house. Okay, which indicates responsibility and a leadership role in regards to his home country. So kind of similar to what Hillary Clinton has going on right now. But on the other hand, it could also imply hardship as well as pushback from his fellow citizens. All right, so let's answer the big question. Who is going to be the next president of the United States? And the answer is, astrologically speaking, it is more unclear than clear. However, in my opinion, after looking at the transits of both candidates, the next president is going to be, are you ready for it? Hillary Clinton. All right, yeah, but it is mostly contingent on whether the birth time of 8:02 a.m. is correct or not. Because, again, in my opinion, the transiting Rahu conjuncting her MC, or medium coeli, the highest point in her chart right now, which directly corresponds to career, public image and persona and social status, is such a big indicator for a new life phase in that regards, that I believe I believe it's going to be her. But please don't take my word for it, okay? I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just trying to interpret here. Because here's what you need to know about the whole future telling aspect of astrology. There's simply no way to forecast an outcome with 100% certainty. That said, Donald Trump has a lot of aspects in his favor right now. And ultimately, one thing that I'm most certain about is that it will be a head-to-head race. Okay, both candidates have great aspects during the time of November 8th as well as January 20th. So it also could be Trump. Okay, he also has this Jupiter squaring his sun and those whole construct that I was just talking about, which could also be in his favor. My speculation is primarily based on Rahu, aka the North Node. Either way, the United States is going through tremendous changes right now. We will need to spot the deceptions, such as media bias or false promises, and separate the truth from the lies. This is your job, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you find this insightful. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think. I'll be more than happy to discuss it all with you. I won't really get into my personal political opinion because, one, this channel is about astrology, and two, I'm not allowed to vote at this point in time since I am German, okay? That's why I talk so weird. With a green card, okay? I have a green card, so which means basically I can't vote. All right, with that being said, I hope you all have a beautiful day.